work on that as well to be able to bring in some of folks that we want to talk to out there who are competing in the races, and hopefully some winners as we go on down the road. Back with you in a moment.
Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families with compassion and care since 1880. As a family-owned funeral home, we're committed to honoring every life with dignity through traditional services, cremation options, and pre-planning that gives you peace of mind. For over 140 years, we've been here when it matters most. Visit JenningsandAyers.com. Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home, honoring life and comforting families since 1880.
Here's Dr. Craig McCabe at McCabe Vision Center.
We have treatments for the skin of your face. So not only do we want you to see young, we want you to look younger too and get rid of a lot of that sun damage.
Dr. Craig McCabe, the eye doctor you hear on the radio.
Maybe you've got dark spots, acne, rosacea, even wrinkles. We can now treat.
McCabe Vision Center on Heritage Park Drive, just off Memorial, behind SunTrust Bank.
All of us here at Toots remind you, since this is an election year, it's so important to vote. So get out there and vote, and if you haven't registered, make it a priority. Toots! Try out our hand-patted burgers. They're hand-patted fresh every day. We've also got some great buffalo chicken wings, jumbo buffalo wings with traditional sauces. If you haven't tried our Cajun dry rub, it's a great option. Good food and fun! Hey, this is Nick Hayes with Toots. Be sure to try out one of our 4 Rutherford County locations.
At Wilson Bank and Trust, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between personal service and digital solutions. This is Andy Jakes with Wilson Bank and Trust. As your local independent bank, we're proud to offer the relationships and trusted service you expect, along with the tools and technology that keep you moving forward.
Wilson Bank and Trust, here to get you there.
Whether you're a growing business, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help. Because this isn't just where we work, it's where we live too.
Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
From WGNS and Big G TV, here's Rutherford County's most complete election coverage. Here's Brian Barrett.
All right, thanks for rejoining here. Sorry about some of the issues over on the Big G TV side, but we've got those going. We had this really cool graphic that we're working to try to make work, and when you don't have live results coming in, it's hard to know if something works, right? So we're going to go at it in a different way. And that different way is going to be for you to be able to see those results for those who are watching on the page that I'm going to read from. I do just kind of want to give you an update on the big races here first, okay? So the big races look like this. For Rutherford County Mayor, Joe Carr, 35.88%. That is the number there for Joe Carr for Rutherford County Mayor. And for second place with just 3692 is Randy Allen. That's second place, 33.92%. So that is a difference of 3905 and 3692, a difference of 213 votes. Were we ready for that? If you're over on the Big G TV side, I can see your chats. So if you've got maybe a question that we can help answer, we'd certainly be able to help out with that possibly here this evening. Okay, so let's see, one more thing. Third place right now in that race is Craig Harris, 3,274 votes. That is 30%. Okay, so Carr, 3905, Allen, 3692, Harris, 3274. The race for Rutherford County Sheriff, Kenneth Barrett, right now, 5570. Trey Mansfield, 3279. That's 51% to 30%. Steve Spence, 2042, or 18%. Circuit Court Clerk, right now, Jeff McKinney is leading, 59.99 to 45.56. That is almost 57% to 43%. So that's what we have in those races. We were going to look at the county commission races. District 4 is very interesting. District 4, Robert P., 349 votes, or 47%. Challenged in the Republican primary by Michael Rogers, 263 votes, or 35%. Brian Burns, 17%, 126 votes. Okay, so that's the latest we have there. Somebody from Daytona checking in on their friends running in races here. And Clarice, I hope I said that right, says go Trey Mansfield. So Trey's going to have to rely on a big election day turnout, which we have seen happen sometimes. And maybe that is one thing that could happen today, but right now trailing by a couple of thousand votes in the early going. Okay, I don't want to get sidetracked because we haven't talked about the county commission races just yet too much. David Gammon leading 94 votes to 65 votes in early voting in District 1. That's in the Laverne area. Scrolling on down to find some of the contested races out in the Eagleville, Rockvale area to fulfill the seat of Commissioner Pettis Reed, who is retiring. Bill Tollett leads 53% to 46%, 480 votes to 418 for John Gassler. So that is a nail biter there as well. And let's see. Mike Sparks says he's listening, and no, it would be a phone call. We're going to try to get on some of the candidates here a bit later on. Trying to one-man bandit with our intern over at the Election Commission offices here this evening. Let's look at, I think that is it for the Republican Party. No, there's one. Jeff Lloyd, 309 votes, 84% just about, to Clarice Santini's 59 votes. And that is 16% of the vote there. So IYUT. Some of it is crazy what computers can do to you. Man, is it frustrating. I got some things working here, but I won't embarrass myself by saying how much time I spent testing and doing it again and again. But here we go. Still waiting on new numbers to come in. So this is again with early voting. Let me check that and just make 100% sure. Let's see. No precincts. So this is no election day voting. And this is the early vote total, which represents about 6% voter turnout in early voting. Early voting, about 13,000. Paper and absentee ballots, 196. School board, Katie Darby, 935 votes, 60%. Clarissa Smith, challenging there, 600 votes, or 39%. In School Board Zone 7, Francis Rosales, who is the incumbent, is trailing Julie Wishing 1129 to 671. That's about 63% to 37% in that Republican primary. So, and Chuck Isabel with 355 votes, or 63.6%, leads incumbent Tammy Sharp, who has 304 early votes, or 46%. So right now, 2 of the 3 Rutherford County School Board members are trailing in their respective races after early voting. Katie Darby is the only one leading, and all of these candidates face independents and or Democrats coming up in August. Murfreesboro City School Board, there are 3 candidates who were on the ballot for school board, and you choose the top 3, right? So all of those candidates are going to be returned to office, and I had that on a nice sheet here somewhere to be able to share with you, but that is no longer here. Scrolling around in a big packet here, if you'll bear with me. I have names and phone numbers and all that kind of thing. There we go. Barbara Hutchins Long is an incumbent. They're all incumbents, all 3 of them, her, Karen Dodd, and Chair Amanda Moore. Karen Dodd and Barbara Hutchins Long are both incumbents seeking their second term. Amanda is seeking her 3rd term, currently in her 2nd term, and is the chair after she was vice chair for many years, and she and Butch Campbell just kind of switched seats, if you will, there in the early going. Earlier, I guess that was sometime last year. So that is a look at the Republican side of things with the county commission races. And again, this is just the early voting totals. So this makes up about 13,000 or so votes. Again, for Rutherford County Mayor, Joe Carr leads by 260 some odd votes, 3905 or 35.8%. Randy Allen in second place, 3692 or about 34%. Craig Harris in third, 3274, and about 30% of the vote. A very, very close race for Rutherford County Mayor. For Rutherford County Sheriff, it is not as close. And in the Rutherford County Sheriff's race, hold on just a second here. In the race for Rutherford County Sheriff, Kenneth Barrett leads with 5,570 votes, or 51% in early voting. Trey Mansfield, 3,279 votes, or 30%. And in third place, Steve Spence, 2,042 votes, or 18, almost 19% of the vote there. In the race for Circuit Court Clerk, these were the 3 big contested races here in Rutherford County in the primary. Jeff McKinney, 5,999 votes, or 57%. Melissa Harrell, 4,556, or 43% of the vote there. So that is a difference, 5,999 and 4,556, a difference of 1,443 votes. Our coverage continues on WGNS and Big G TV, made possible by Wilson Bank and Trust, McCabe Vision Center, Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home, along with Toots Good Food and Fun. We can't do it without our fine sponsors who make the coverage possible. We've tried to expand our coverage just a little bit to be able to bring you numbers, to be able to bring you information on many platforms. Thanks to all of those who are checking in on the social media side of things. Someone watching in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. There was someone in Daytona Beach, Florida. So we say hello to those of you from far and beyond. Let's see. A lot of folks saying go this person or go that person. When do we think we will get updated poll numbers? When we would get updated election numbers, the next time that those will be released, the early voting totals are released once everyone has had the opportunity to vote. Okay? So once everyone has the opportunity to vote, that's what happens there. And then they've got to get everyone in the line voted and out of the building before they take care of everything else, right? Before they then pack up the car and bring the vote totals back to the Rutherford County Election Commission in Murfreesboro, and then they're put into a computer, and they are then, from that point, they are then released once they have a batch to release. So there you go. The latest information that we have for you. We're going to take a quick break and continue our coverage, hopefully talking in just a few with some of those candidates who have kind of put their name out there, put their name on the line, if you will, to run for the various offices. And it's very important that their work continue. Again, our coverage here on WGNS and on Big G TV is made possible by Wilson Bank and Trust, McCabe Vision Center, Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home, along with Toots Good Food and Fun. More to come as we continue with Vote 2026, the Rutherford County primary elections.
Here's Dr. Craig McCabe at McCabe Vision Center.
We now have good treatments for vision with cataract surgery, so now you can see well near, intermediate, and far distances without glasses.
Dr. Craig McCabe.
What we can do not only to make you see younger, but help you to look younger and get rid of sun damage and other problems to our skin.
McCabe Vision Center on Heritage Park Drive, just off Memorial, behind SunTrust Bank.
Toots, good food and fun. Toots, it's the place for family and friends. Toots, you get the feeling the fun never ends. Food so great, service so right. You're gonna be here night after night. Toots, good food and fun. Toots, good food and fun. Toots, good food and fun. Toots,
on Broad at Loki in front of Jackson Heights.
Boy, that's a really old commercial. They've got 4 Rutherford County locations. I don't know where that one came from. So Broad Street, Toots West. You've got in Murfreesboro, Toots South on South Church Street, and also in Smyrna. And we appreciate our friends at Toots.
Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families with compassion and care since 1880. As a family-owned funeral home, we're committed to honoring every life with dignity through traditional services, cremation options, and pre-planning that gives you peace of mind. For over 140 years, we've been here when it matters most. Visit JenningsandAyers.com. Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home, honoring life and comforting families since 1880.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News Alert.
I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House, Simon Owen in London.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. America is listening to Fox News Radio.
Fox News Radio from News Radio WGNS.
From WGNS and Big G TV, here's Rutherford County's most complete election coverage. Here's Brian Barrett.
All right, friends, we are back and continuing our coverage here. Want to try to talk with State Representative Mike Sparks. And Mike, I know that you're not on the ballot now. I guess you will be come August. And, you know what these candidates have gone through. A lot of hard-earned, money going out, races, walking the streets, all that good thing. So kind of give us your thoughts on running for office. Well, apparently he doesn't know how to use the telephone. So we'll try one more time here. All right. So Mike was just talking about, it's hard to run for office. And a lot of these folks have put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this. Mm-hmm. I think you've got your radio on or something there, don't you? I'm not sure why that's such an issue there. You can't listen on the radio, so go ahead. Maybe your thoughts on how it is to run for office there, Mike.
Can you hear me?
I can. You can't listen on the radio.
Okay, I'm
it'll
sorry.
Give you feedback.
I'm driving. I'm driving, man. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to text and drive or anything. No, you were asking me about running for office. It is challenging. So, my heart goes out to not only the winners. I know they'll be a joyous occasion tonight, but also those that have worked so hard and tirelessly out there at the polls and raising money and campaigning. It's a lot of work. So my hat's off to anybody that'll get out there and put the name out there and try to make a difference in our community.
The race right now for county mayor, Tiffany Parker, she was your intern. She's intern with me. She's kind of covering, she's at the election commission right now, helping me there. And she said, everyone said it's a horse race. And Joe Carr leads Randy Allen by 267 votes, I think it is. And Craig Harris in third, about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7,000 or 700 votes behind. So that is a horse race for county mayor.
Yeah. Well, one thing I give Joe Carr credit for, he knows how to raise horses, ain't no doubt. And I guess he also knows how to fall off of them. He fell off when he got hurt here a while back. And, I'm glad he recovered. Joe knows how to run races. Craig's worked really hard. Randy's worked really hard. And, they all deserve a lot of respect for just getting out there as hard as they are, man. Because, unless somebody's been out there in the heat knocking on doors and, like Kenneth Barrett and Trey Mansfield and Steve Spence and all them have, man, you really just don't know. It's hard. I mean, and I appreciate what they do because that's a big challenge to run for sheriff or run for county mayor. That's county-wide. You got to raise money. You got to dial for dollars. You got to ask everybody from your cousins to your former boss from 20 years ago to spare a dime. It's not an easy task. And all of them have been on the radio, on my show on Sunday nights, and they've all been great. Just great. They really are great folks. I'm not just saying it because it sounds good. Just awesome candidates that we've had.
The race for sheriff, let me scroll on down here because that one surprised me at the margin a little bit. Kenneth Barrett, 5570, 51%. Trey Mansfield, 3279, 30%. Steve Spence, about almost 19% with 2,042. So that's quite a lead out there for Kenneth Barrett in the early voting. You're listening to your radio again, I think.
I know it is. It looks like he's going to pull it off if he's leading that much.
Yeah, in the early voting and such. So, well, Mike, I appreciate you spending a little time. I know that you had talked to a lot of the candidates out there. So just appreciate you spending some time with us. And I know come August, well, you've got to start running, I guess, tomorrow.
Craig and Joe and all them going through, and Randy. They go through it every 2 years, Well, thank you, Brian.
All right, man. Thank you. That's State Representative Mike Sparks, obviously having a little trouble hearing me for some reason. Not sure about that. So let me go over the totals. I did just get a text from our reporter on the scene there just dropped off some of the boxes. So some of the boxes have been brought in. So we probably will be getting some numbers sometime very soon. In the race for circuit court clerk, Jeff McKinney, 59.99, 57%. Melissa Harrell, 45.56, 43%. So that's a circuit court clerk. Let me take a look at some of what I'm seeing here. If you've got anything you'd like to send us in terms of comment, if you're following along on the Big GTV side, drop us a comment, say hello, give us a thumbs up, whatever you'd like to do. A lot of folks saying go Trey or go Kenneth or go Joe or, that kind of thing. I see our Murfreesboro mayor on there. So, Mayor, thank you for the nice words. Mr. Murfreesboro trying to be a funny guy, it looks like. But we've got him all situated, I think. And there you go, some of the comments there that we've seen come through. If I haven't mentioned a race, that doesn't mean that it's not important, but we're following the countywide races, the races for school board, for county, and some of the county commission races. There are many that are not contested. Let's speak about school board because it's been a minute since we have done so. So for school board zone 1, Chuck Isabel right now, who is challenging in the Republican primary, Tammy Sharp. And let's see how those votes are going right now. Isabel, 355 or 53.6% of the vote. Tammy Sharp with 304 votes or 45.92%. That's in the North Rutherford County area, several county commission districts included in that. So Isabel leading the incumbent right there, but just a very tight margin. 54% to 46%, and that is a difference of just 51 votes. So that is one to watch. Also, as we look in the race for school board zone 4, this would include some of the Blackman area, kind of out in that neck of the woods. Katie Darby, 935 votes. She got about 60% of the early vote totals. That right there in School Board Zone 4 is the only incumbent that is leading the race with the early vote totals in. Clarissa Smith, the Republican challenger, 600 votes or 38, almost 38.5%, if you will. In School Board Zone 7, Francis Rosales is the incumbent. And right now, I've got the old trusty calculator out because numbers at this point in the day, after the day I've had, a difference of 458 votes separate Julie Wishing, the Republican challenger, and Francis Rosales, the incumbent. Former, I think, school board vice chair for the county school board. Julie Wishing, 1129 or 62%. Rosales, 671 or 37% of the vote. So that's what we see for the school board. We mentioned the Murfreesboro City School Board. All of the incumbents ran again, and you got to choose 3, and all 3 will retain their seats for the Murfreesboro city municipal election, and that is the only thing for the city of Murfreesboro at this point. Now, we get to do it all over again in August with the state and federal primary and the Rutherford County general election, which includes road board and all of the races that we see here. The candidates will move on. I will say that for Rutherford County mayor, those numbers for Rutherford County mayor, whoever wins that race will be the county mayor because there is no Democrat that is running. Looks like we've gotten more boxes dropped off at the Election Commission. Still no new numbers. Let me do a quick refresh here and just make sure I'm not missing anything, but I don't think that I am, and I am not to this point because what is happening we're awaiting those numbers to be taken from those boxes, put into the computer, tallied, and then they'll give us a big dump of, maybe 10 vote centers or so, something like that. Usually is how it goes. But the early vote totals came out pretty quick. I can actually tell you when those early voting totals came out because I got the message on the very first one at 7:22. So 22 minutes after the polls closed, that meant everybody in the county at the vote centers had voted and they could release the numbers. The county election commission does a wonderful job. They don't release any of the numbers until everyone has voted. Okay. Jason on chat said terrible turnout again, and you're right about that. I don't know what the election day numbers are going to be, but I can tell you that the numbers in the early voting were just shy of 7%. Yeah, not great. So that's what we have for you in terms of the various races. We're going to take another quick timeout and continue with our election coverage, maybe as we come up on WGNS Murfreesboro, Smyrna, top of the hour. If you're listening there, you've got FM 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, WGNSradio.com, and you also have our Big G TV channels on YouTube and Facebook that you can follow along as well. And our coverage is brought to you by Toots Good Food and Fun, by McCabe Vision Center, Wilson Bank and Trust, and Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home. We hope you'll hang out and stay with us as our Rutherford County primary election results continue here on a Tuesday election night. Stay tuned.
At Wilson Bank and Trust, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between personal service and digital solutions. This is Andy Jakes with Wilson Bank and Trust. As your local independent bank, we're proud to offer the relationships and trusted service you expect, along with the tools and technology that keep you moving forward.
Wilson Bank and Trust, here to get you there.
Whether you're a growing business, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help. Because this isn't just where we work, it's where we live too.
Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Here's Dr. Craig McCabe at McCabe Vision Center.
We have treatments for the skin of your face. So not only do we want you to see young, we want you to look younger too and get rid of a lot of that sun damage.
Dr. Craig McCabe, the eye doctor you hear on the radio.
Maybe you've got dark spots, acne, rosacea, even wrinkles. We can now treat.
McCabe Vision Center on Heritage Park Drive, just off Memorial, behind SunTrust Bank.
Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families with compassion and care since 1880. As a family-owned funeral home, we're committed to honoring every life with dignity through traditional services, cremation options, and pre-planning that gives you peace of mind. For over 140 years, we've been here when it matters most. Visit JenningsandAyers.com. Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home, honoring life and comforting families since 1880.
From WGNS and Big G TV, this is Rutherford County's most complete election coverage. Presented by Toots Good Food and Fun, Wilson Bank and Trust, McCabe Vision Center, and Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home. Here once again is Brian Barrett.
Thanks for joining us here as we continue our coverage on WGNS and Big G TV, awaiting the first totals or the next group of numbers to come out. We have currently early voting totals only, and those early voting totals represent, I meant to look that up while I had a second, but was doing some other things behind the scene. A total of there were 196 absentee ballots, so just shy of 200, and total 13,321. That is 6% of the 217,000 registered voters. What do we get on Election Day? Typically, it's double. So that's typically what we see. So whatever early voting is, that's what we'll see on Election Day. Now, again, I said that it's typical. This is something that I did want to show for those who were on Big G TV. This was my day today going to the mailbox. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pieces of mail that went out. So, man, we get to do it all over again in August, right? And then get to do it all over again in November. August 6th will be the state and federal primary and county general and Murfreesboro municipal, which includes mayor and 3 council seats. And in November, it's the state and federal general and also Eagleville, Laverne, and Smyrna municipal elections. So it is a big election year coming up here this coming year. All right, so with that being said, we're going to look again at our early voting totals that we have out there. And let's concentrate a little bit on, I'll give you an overview of the big races and then concentrate a little bit on the county commission races, because there are several that are pretty important out there that you'll want to know. So in the race for Rutherford County Mayor, Joe Carr, 3905, Randy Allen, 3692, Craig Harris, 3274. 260 some odd votes separating Carr and Allen. And then, 3274 to 3905, we're talking about less than 700 votes between Harris and Carr. So very tight race there. Also for Rutherford County Sheriff, we've mentioned Kenneth Barrett, 5570, 51%. Trey Mansfield, 3279, 30%. Steve Spence, 2042, 18%. Circuit Court Clerk, incumbent Melissa Harrell trailing Jeff McKinney, 59.99 for McKinney, 57%. Harrell, 43%, 45.56. Okay, so now to some of the contested county races. Hold on a second. Looks like more boxes coming in. So we ought to get some really great numbers here next up. So we'll see. County Commission, District 1, David Gammon, 94 votes to Jamie Knight, 65. That's 58% to 40%. That's in a Republican race, and the winner would face Democrat incumbent Hope Oliver coming up in November. In the District 4 County Commission race, incumbent Robert P. has a 47% to 35% lead over Michael Rogers, an even greater lead over Brian Burns. P with 349 early votes, Rogers 263, Burns 126. As we move on to District 6 for the Rutherford County Commission, 660 votes, Jonathan Beverly. That is almost 80%. Eddie Arnold, 166 votes. District 8, Commissioner Pettis Reed not running for re-election. Pettis Reed will be replaced by someone, and who is that someone? Well, we're going to have to wait until August to find out, but on the Republican side, Bill Tollett leads 53 to 46% over John Gassler. And the difference between those two is just a mere 62 votes. Tollett, 480 votes, Gassler with 418. Let's see here. Moving along as we check out on more of the county commission races. I think that's actually all on the Republican side that are contested. Let's look at the Democratic primary. We spent most of our time on the Republican primary, but there is only one Democratic primary race, and that is in District 21. And I've missed it. There it is. In District 21, Chanto Sereno not running for re-election. And on the Democrat side, Laura Blackwell Clark, 148 votes, or 59%, to Ashley Benarski's 102 votes, or 41%. There are some Republican challengers in that, so let me scroll up to find that number for you. In that district, the Republican side in District 21, Jeff Lloyd, 309 votes, 84%. Clarence Santini Sr., 59 votes, or 16%. So that's what we have for you in terms of the early vote totals. And again, it's been almost an hour since we've had the early voting information out there for you, and we expect more to keep or to come streaming in. Now, this says we have 4 vote centers of 30 reporting. So new numbers for you here. Let's take a look at the race for Rutherford County Mayor. So this is with 4 of the 30 precincts, brand new numbers. This counts early voting in that as well. Joe Carr, 4,334 votes. Randy Allen, 4,197. That is a difference of 137 votes separating Carr and Allen. 36% Carr, 34.5% Allen. Craig Harris, 3,552, or 29%. So the gap has widened just a bit between Carr and Harris. 3,552. That is a difference of 782 votes between Craig Harris, who is in third place now, and Joe Carr in first place, 43-34. Carr, the incumbent. Let's look at Rutherford County Sheriff. We're going to get the big county-wide races first. And for Rutherford County Sheriff, Kenneth Barrett maintains his substantial lead there. Kenneth Barrett with 6,284 votes, or 52%, we'll round up. Trey Mansfield, 3,586, or rounding up to 30%. Steve Spence, 2,241, or about 18% of the vote. So Kenneth Barrett right now is enjoying an advantage, 6,284 and 3,586, about 2,700 votes. That's with 4 precincts reporting, 4 vote centers of the 30 reporting. Okay. For the circuit court clerk, Jeff McKinney, 6,664 votes, 56.7%. Melissa Harrell, 5,066 votes, or 43%. Of the vote. So that's what we have in those countywide races on the Republican primary. Let's look at school board. School board zone 1. Wow. 50 votes separate Chuck Isabel, the challenger, 357, to Tammy Sharp's 307. So that has definitely shortened that race considerably. I mean, considerably in that. Wow. Katie Darby leads Clarissa Smith in Zone 4, 946 votes to 627 votes. And that is in school board Zone 4. Zone 7, Julie Wishing, 1,201. 61%. Rosales, 753, 38% of the vote. So that's what we have there. Hold on a second. 1,000. Okay. I kept seeing some things that said frozen, but I'm seeing it on YouTube. It may be on Facebook. Facebook does really weird things. So if you're watching on Facebook, maybe roll on over to YouTube. I think the YouTube is hanging in there pretty strong. Getting lots of pictures. Another... Julie Wishing again, 1,201. Rosales, 753. So right now, 2 of the 3 incumbents for school board are trailing in their races. Katie Darby, the only incumbent to lead at this point. And so there you go. Let's look at the county commission races. And again, this is with 4 of 30 vote centers reporting. 4 of 30 vote centers. Thanks, Greg, for that. David Gammon, 94 votes. Jamie Knight, 65. I don't think that changed, so this must not have been from the Laverne area. District 4, 390. Robert P., 282. Michael Rogers, that's 48% to 35%. Jonathan Beverly, 835 votes, 78%. Eddie Arnold, 22%, 233 votes. So that's what we have for you there in District 6. And I believe that would be the last one that we have. District 21, sorry, pardon me. Jeff Lloyd, pretty commanding lead, 84%, 390 votes, to Clarence Santini Sr., 73. That is about 16%. And on the Democratic side, the only Democratic primary where there are 2 challengers, and that is for County Commission District 21. Laura Blackwell, 177 votes, or 57%. Ashley Benarski's 43%, 131. So that's what we have for you. Again, this is with 4 of the 30 vote centers in. 4 of 30. We still have a long way to go. We've gotten early voting and 4 vote centers in almost an hour. So that's what we have for you here in terms of our election summary right now. 4 of 30 vote centers reporting in. Very, very close race for county mayor. Joe Carr, 43-34. Randy Allen, 41-97. Craig Harris, 35-52. So it's about 36% to about 35% to just under 30%. So that is wild in that particular race. Let me update our lower third. So this is 4 of 30 vote centers and early voting. Just so those of you watching know, 4 of 30 vote centers and early voting are the numbers that we are looking at here. Our coverage on WGNS and Big G TV made possible by our friends at Toots, Good Food and Fun. Also, Wilson Bank and Trust, McCabe Vision Center, along with Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home. We're going to take a quick time out, continue, and maybe we'll get more vote centers. Maybe we'll get somebody to check in with us. We hope to talk with Rick Hall, Rutherford County Commissioner, as well. So may try to get him on the horn. Stay with us as we continue coverage here of the Rutherford County primary election night.
Here's Dr. Craig McCabe at McCabe Vision Center.
We now have good treatments for vision with cataract surgery, so now you can see well near, intermediate, and far distances without glasses.
Dr. Craig McCabe.
What we can do not only to make you see younger, but help you to look younger and get rid of sun damage and other problems to our skin.
McCabe Vision Center on Heritage Park Drive, just off Memorial, behind SunTrust Bank.
All of us here at Toots remind you, since this is an election year, it's so important to vote. So get out there and vote, and if you haven't registered, make it a priority. Toots! Try out our hand-patted burgers. They're hand-patted fresh every day. We've also got some great buffalo chicken wings, jumbo buffalo wings with traditional sauces. If you haven't tried our Cajun dry rub, it's a great offer.
Good food and fun.
Hey, this is Nick Hayes with Toots. Be sure to try out one of our 4 Rutherford County locations.
At Wilson Bank and Trust, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between personal service and digital solutions. This is Andy Jakes with Wilson Bank and Trust. As your local independent bank, we're proud to offer the relationships and trusted service you expect, along with the tools and technology that keep you moving forward.
Wilson Bike and Trust, here to get you there.
Whether you're a growing business, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help. Because this isn't just where we work, it's where we live, too.
Wilson Bike and Trust, member FDIC.
Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families with compassion and care since 1880. As a family-owned funeral home, we're committed to honoring every life with dignity through traditional services, cremation options, and pre-planning that gives you peace of mind. For over 140 years, we've been here when it matters most. Visit JenningsandAyers.com. Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home, honoring life and comforting families since 1880.
From WGNS and Big G TV, this is Rutherford County's most complete election coverage. Presented by Toots Good Food and Fun, Wilson Bank and Trust, McCabe Vision Center, and Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home. Here once again is Brian Barrett.
All right, thanks for joining us here as we continue. Again, we have 4 vote centers out of 30. I've got to be careful using my fingers there because my camera will kind of zoom in and things like that. But, 4 vote centers out of 4. I said 4 out of 40, 4 out of 30. When you look at all of these numbers, and the numbers kind of, make you a little bit on the crazy side, seeing all the numbers. But I'm going to get it right here. 4 out of 30. Maybe I have to be looking at it. But we're seeing a lot of trucks pull in going on at the Rutherford County Election Commission. We hope to be talking to some of the candidates as we get a bit later on into our coverage here this evening, once we have a better idea. So the race for county mayor is razor thin at this point. So Joe Carr leads 4,334 votes to Randy Allen's 4,197. 4,334 and 4,197 is a difference of 137 votes. 137 votes. And you say, well, does my vote really count? Yes, your vote really counts. Every vote is going to be precious in this race. County Commissioner Craig Harris right now has 3,552 votes. And the difference between Carr's 4,334 and the 3,552 of Harris is just 782 votes. So it's about 36% to 35% to 30%. And there were 21 write-in votes. So that's what we have there. David Gammon leading in the Republican primary for District 1 in County Commission, 58%, almost 59 to 40%, 94 votes to 65 votes. The reason I tell you both of those numbers, a little bit of I guess, an education here. I had someone tell me that when you hear all of the percentages don't mean a lot. What's the number of total votes? So I try to do both. So if it sounds repetitive, that's the reason. People want to know how many votes. And that's why I try to tell you a difference, how many votes, separate if it's a really close race like that. So that's why you're getting that. Robert P. ran for Rutherford County Commission. I don't know how long ago. Robert's been on the commission for a long time, and his family before that. Robert P. had 2 Republican challengers and then still faces a Democratic challenger or maybe an independent or maybe both coming up in August. I can't recall at the moment. But he leads in the Republican primary, 390 votes to 282. That's 48% to 35%. Brian Burns a distant third with 140 votes. Another thing, you may be saying, well, you're just focusing on the Republican primary. Well, if you were anywhere but District 21 and you voted in the Democratic primary, you didn't have a choice. You could do a write-in. You could vote for all of those Democrats who were running unopposed, but that was the only race. And so I have that number right here. 11,105 in early voting were GOP ballots. 2,220 were Democratic ballots. And that was just in the early voting there. So let's see. We can start the return. There we go. If something works right for the first time, I'm going to be surprised.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. That is Rick Hall checking in. Rick, we were just talking about these county commission races. They're some of them pretty tight. I know District 4 was one of interest.
Really
What are your thoughts on the overall night so far that we're seeing?
For the Republican side, it's really good. For whatever reason, our Democrats didn't show up to the polls like I felt like they were going to, but really surprised about that. But I'm really proud of the Republican caucus and how they've shown up. We got a horse race for the mayor right now, and didn't really expect that, but we sure do. Sorry, I'm outside here.
That's okay. I'm not sure if that's a little farm animal or a gremlin that I hear, but either way, it's all fine and good. The Rutherford County mayor's race, you've got Joe Carr leading by 100 and a handful of votes over Randy Allen, and thought that was very interesting. And Commissioner Craig Harris is only 700 votes out. So we're talking 30-something% to 30-something% to 30-something% just about. So when you say, does my vote count? Boy, it does.
It sure does. And that's why you figure the money that's spent on these races, and people really get mad at the handouts they get and things like that. But it's so crucial to get those people out and vote. And I don't know what percentage. Did you hear the end of the day numbers, what we kind of had so far? Do we even know that number? I think around 4:30, I heard we were a little over 7,000 voting today. But as we talked this morning, with only having those few that voted this morning, 13,007 by then, we're touching 20,000 of the 240,000 eligible voters that we were talking about this morning. It's I don't know how to get the vote count higher, but I sure wish we could get more people engaged. And I had a conversation with a guy today with the internet and technology things. But the unfortunate part of that is it can be compromised and, it can be hacked and things. So I don't know how digital world you want to get involved with that to make something like that happen. But we'll make it happen sooner or later. That's the thing with me being unopposed. I'm ready to work really hard and fight some of those issues you and I talked about this morning on the radio of maybe looking at things that we can do differently in the future to help get the vote out better.
I'm not sure how much easier we can make it, but I'm sure that there are ways. But in terms of actually going out and voting, it can't be any easier than it is.
No, it isn't. And I mean, look at the disparities between each district and how many people actually voted. They pick our districts to make it we have just about the same number of voters per precinct. And, to have that put together, I think in my precinct early, there's only like 355 that voted in early voting and having 11,000 people eligible there that could have voted. That's amazing.
On the side of the county commission, Robert P. challenged with two Republicans running against him. He has a lead of 390 votes to 282 and 140 for Brian Burns in third, being challenged by Michael Rogers. District 8, that's a seat that will be filled. Pettis Reed decided not to run for re-election. And Bill Tollett, 492 votes. John Gassler has 432 votes. That is a difference of 60 votes. So those are races that are very, very close for the county commission. The others are pretty wide margins, but those are very close.
Yeah, very close. Yeah. I know both Bill and Robert, of course, have served on the commission now before this last time. He's a key component of our budget committee. You've got so many guys that are not going there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time. I think our internet connection has gotten a bit worse. So maybe we'll try a phone call here after a little bit, if that's okay with you. You can give me a nod if that works for you. Well, you're frozen on my screen here, so we'll try a phone call here in just a few minutes. I do want to get some more thoughts from you. That is Rutherford County Commissioner and show host on WGNS. Every Tuesday with Wayne Blair, another former Rutherford County Commissioner and Rutherford County School Board member. He joined us here on a quick call for just a few minutes here. So let's go back to the numbers, and we'll get back with him in just a few, because I do believe that we have some new numbers that are just in here. So let's jump right into it, shall we? Okay, so how many vote centers do we have? Let's do a quick drum roll. 12 of 30. Okay, so this is a big difference. 12 of 30 vote precincts. Randy Allen has now taken a lead over Joe Carr in the race for Rutherford County Mayor. 5,596 votes for Randy Allen, 5,490 votes for Joe Carr, a difference of 106 votes. So they have pretty much flip-flopped. The lead is smaller for Allen than it was a few minutes ago. Craig Harris has 4,620 votes. Right now, that's let me just do the quick numbers, 5,596 and 4,620. That is a difference of 976 votes between Allen now and Harris. Incumbent Joe Carr trailing now, 5596 Allen, 5490 Carr. Again, this is with 12 of 30 vote centers that are reporting in. In the race for Rutherford County Sheriff, Kenneth Barrett, 52%. to Trey Mansfield's 30%. 8167, Kenneth Barrett. Mansfield, 4665. Steve Spence, 2892. So that is 12 of 30. Let me update my lower third here so we know that. 12 of 30. Okay. That is interesting. So the large lead that he has had continues. In the race for Circuit Court Clerk, Melissa Harold seeking a third term, now trailing Jeff McKinney, 8478 to 6692. So let's just get the old calculator out. 8476 from 6692 is 1,786 votes, separating Jeff McKinney and Melissa Harrell. So that is Circuit Court Clerk. This is the Republican primary. Rutherford County School Board. In Zone 1, Chuck Isabel leads Tammy Sharp, 407 votes to 338. And that is a difference of 69 votes. It was tight in early voting. It's tight now. Okay. Katie Darby's lead over Clarissa Smith in the Republican primary for Zone 4, 1188 to 882. That is 56% to about 42%. 1188 and 882, that is a difference of 306 votes. School Board Zone 7, Julie Wishing has led incumbent Francis Rosales since the early voting numbers were out. 1662 for Wishing, 1,078 for Rosales. That is a difference of 584 votes. So that is how the school board is shaping up. And let's look back at Rutherford County Commission districts. Let's see. I'm getting a note that it's 15 of 30, but that's not what I'm seeing. 12 of 30 is what I'm seeing reported here. So let me just see if there are more updated numbers than I'm able to give you here, and I'll just have to read these. 15 of 30. That's what it says. Okay. The same numbers, but what I'm hearing is despite it saying 12 of 30, it is 15 of 30. And this is coming from our person that's at the Election Commission. So this would be half. Okay. I'm just checking the comments here. I'm making sure I'm not missing anything. So everything that I gave you, the numbers match the numbers that were with the printout that we had, but it's got written at the top 15 of 30. Released at 8:25. Okay. County Commission District, Robert P., 578 votes, or about 49%. Michael Rogers, 392 votes, 33%. Brian Burns, 213 votes, 18%. So that's County Commission District 4. Looking at the contested races, District 6, Jonathan Beverly, the incumbent, 1,045 votes. Eddie Arnold, 296. Bill Tollett in the race to fill the seat from the retiring Pettis Reed, District 8, in the Rockvale, Eagleville area. Bill Tollett, Eagleville Vice Mayor, 682 votes. John Gassler, 634. That is a difference of 48 votes. And again, this is with 15 of 30. And I saw a comment, seems quite low for the turnout. Yes. I think we're going to see there were about 13,000 or so early votes and absentee votes together. We're going to be lucky to see that here on this election day added to that. We'll find out before things are all said and done. District 21, that's another district that is being contested. It's actually an open seat with Chanto Sereno deciding not to run for re-election. Democrat, I believe. I don't think he was an independent. Pretty sure that was a Democratic. Actually, it is. I remember it's probably 2 elections ago, Chanto in the general election trailed with like 1 precinct to go by 5 votes, and he won by 1 or 2 votes. And I said then, boy, if you don't think your vote counts, just look at that race. Look at our race for county mayor, how razor thin it is. 100 votes, just over 100 votes separating Randy Allen, who is in first, from incumbent Joe Carr, who had the lead all night with early voting in the first few vote centers. Now that's flip-flopped, and you've got Randy Allen leading in that. And just between the 3 of them, with adding in Commissioner Craig Harris, about 700 votes total, the difference. But in Commission District 21, Republican primary, Jeff Lloyd, 414 votes, Clarence Santini, 78. And that is the only Democratic primary that there was more than 1 candidate. So there was really nothing to choose in the others unless you wrote in a candidate or voted for the only person on the ballot. But County Commission District 21 has 2 Democrats running, and that is Laura Blackwell Clark. She has 188 votes to Ashley Benarski's 141. So that is a pretty tight race there as well. So I think we talked about all of the races. Let me find my cursor, first of all. There we go. And get back to the top of this page if it would react like I want it to. Technology, gotta love it. I've been challenged with it all day. Ooh, a big update here. 22 of 30 vote centers reporting. Ready for this update? Let's take a look. This is going to be very interesting. 22 of 30. You're probably not seeing this information anywhere else because we just got the 22 of 30. Rutherford County Mayor, Randy Allen. 6,127 votes. Joe Carr, 5,900 votes. That is a difference of 227 votes. 227 votes. Randy Allen leads by 227 votes with 22 of the 30 reporting. Okay. Craig Harris, 5,063. So it's Randy Allen, 6,127, 36%. Joe Carr, 5,900, 34.5%. Craig Harris, 5,063, 29.5%. That's the race for county mayor. As we look at the race for Rutherford County Sheriff, Kenneth Barrett, 8,986 votes, 52%. I did see a few comments. Are you related to Kenneth Barrett? I am not related to Kenneth Barrett that I know of. We may be some very, very distant kin. And we have the same last name after all. But I have known Kenneth. Kenneth and I kind of grew up in church together, went to church with his mom for 20 some odd years. Great family. Know them well. All of the candidates were great. I really enjoyed getting to know Kenneth and Trey and Steve, and they've been on the air and on some of our various shows. But just thought I would throw that in there because I did see a comment about that a couple of times. But Kenneth Barrett, 89.86, 52%. Trey Mansfield, 49.87, 29%. Steve Spence, 31.33, 18%. So Kenneth Barrett's lead, 89.86. And again, this is with 22 of 30 vote centers, 89.86 from 49.87 is 3,999 vote difference. So there you go. That is the lead for Barrett is more than the total votes for Steve Spence, if that gives you some type of look at that. So Rutherford County Sheriff looks like the Republican nominee, or the Republican nominee is going to be Kenneth Barrett. Now, what happens after this, we'll talk about that just a little bit, because I know that it can be a bit confusing. So I've got all of these commission districts, and I wanted to find the race for sheriff in this. I've got like a 13-page document here, and I never can find it. So the Republican who wins this primary, very well likely Kenneth Barrett, will face independent Kevin Dobbs and independent James Rankin. Both of those gentlemen are running in August. So Kenneth Barrett will run in August against either Kevin Dodd or James Rankin. And with that being said, you may have seen a few Kevin Dobbs signs out. And I saw there was a little criticism about that, because he's not even having to run in this race, because if you are an independent, there is no primary for that. That it was kind of confusing to people, but I think those that at least voted have seen a difference. Here is something interesting too that I want to point out. 89-86. This is a countywide race, so it gives us a good snapshot. 49-87 and 31-33. 17,106 total votes, with 22 of 30 were cast early voting and election day for sheriff. That would tell me that we're going to be lucky to get to 20,000 votes. See if that happens. We'll look and see by the end of the night. Maybe so. But I probably so. But that kind of gives us a snapshot of about 20,000 plus are going to vote in this election of the 200 and, how many were the registered voters? Let me look at this sheet, because I know it's on the very front page. There are 217,226 And of those registered voters, just over 20,000 of the 217,000 are going to vote in this primary. So there you go. We are going to be, by the way, so hope you'll hang in with us. We're going to attempt, once we get that final tally in, we're going to attempt to talk to the winning candidates. I've already made contact with Kenneth. I saw Jennifer had sent me a text as well. Made some contacts with all of the other candidates as well, wanted to let them know we want to talk to them tonight. And the sheriff and county mayor winners on the Republican primary are going to be on the roundtable with Chip Walters at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Rutherford County Sheriff would be 9 to 9:30 in that time frame, and then 9:30 to 10 would be the county mayor, Republican. And again, county mayor, the winner takes all because there is no challenger in August on the Democratic side or an independent. So there's a little programming note. So we hope to be talking to those folks here coming up. Circuit Court Clerk, we haven't talked about this. And again, this is with 22 of 30. Jeff McKinney, 91.23, 55%. Melissa Harrell, 73.69, 44.6, so about 45%. So about a 10% lead for Jeff McKinney. Melissa Harrell trying for a third term in office as Circuit Court Clerk, and with 22 of 30 votes, 32 of vote, tongue-tied again, 22 of 30 vote centers in, trailing 91.23 to 73.69. That is a difference of 1,754 votes. Okay, so let's rack and reset. Again, this is 22 of 30 vote centers. Now we have another update. 26 of 30 vote centers are in. Are you ready? Here we go. We're going to run through them real quick again. And by the way, our coverage on WGNS and Big G TV is made possible by Wilson Bank and Trust, Toots Good Food and Fun, McCabe Vision Center, and Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home. Please tell those sponsors that you appreciated the coverage tonight. We've done our best with our team here together to try to bring you the best coverage that we possibly can here this evening and get you the numbers as soon as possible. So, and it takes folks like them that make it possible, that make it work. Toots, McCabe Vision Center, Wilson Bank and Trust, and Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home. 26 of 33 vote centers. Here we go. County Mayor, Randy Allen, 36%. Joe Carr, 34%. Craig Harris, 29.4%. Randy Allen has 6,412 votes to Joe Carr's 6,081, a difference of 331 votes. That is growing. I see a comment about school board. We're running to it quickly. So that is the countywide race for county mayor. Again, it's winner take all. The Republican primary will determine the winner and the next county mayor. And right now, Joe Carr trailing by 331 votes. And again, this is with 26 of 30 vote centers that are reporting. Running down real quick to through the commission races. We'll get to those in a minute, too. Sheriff, 93.23. Barrett, Mansfield, 51.60. Spence, 32.44. That's 52% Barrett, 29% Mansfield, 18% Spence. Circuit Court Clerk, it's still about a 10% lead. McKinney, 94.50. Harrell, 76.42. Again, about 55% to 45%. For School Board Zone 1, here we go for you, Sheriff, and hello to you, and take care of Kevin over there, okay? School Board Zone 1, Chuck Isabel, 595 votes, Tammy Sharp, 459. I will tell you that in the three zones that are up for the Rutherford County election, 2 of the 3 incumbents are trailing. Chuck Isabel 595 votes. Tammy Sharp, 459. That is a difference of 136. Question, if Randy wins, when does the change happen? Yes, it would be after the general election, so it would be September. The county general is in August, so September timeframe. I don't know the exact date. School Board Zone 4, and that would be for all of these county offices, by the way. Katie Darby, 1,500 votes. Clarissa Smith, 1,149. That is about 56% to 43%. 1,500 for Darby, the incumbent. 1,149 for the Republican challenger. So 1,500 from 1,149 would be 351 vote difference between Smith and Darby. All of these races do have independents and or Democrats who will run against the Republican primary winner. Julie Wishing, 1,816 votes. Francis Rosales, the incumbent and former vice chair of the board, 1,179. That is a difference of 637 votes. And again, this is with 26 of 30. That counts the early voting as well. So with that said, I'm going to do another quick refresh. I was going to do a break last time, and I got the numbers in. So 26 of 30 is where we stand. They've been coming in hot and heavy. I would expect we are going to get the final totals here pretty quick, and we're going to wrap up an entire county election in a couple of hours. So stay tuned. We're going to get the final numbers, and we're going to hopefully talk to the county mayor winner, to Kenneth Barrett, who will be the Republican nominee for sheriff, and at least those couple of offices. Hopefully Jeff McKinney. I did make some contact with him as well. And that's as we continue our coverage here on WGNS and on Big G TV. It's Vote 2026, the Rutherford County primary election night. Stay with us. Our coverage continues in just a moment.
At Wilson Bank and Trust, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between personal service and digital solutions. This is Andy Jakes with Wilson Bank and Trust. As your local independent bank, we're proud to offer the relationships and trusted service you expect, along with the tools and technology that keep you moving forward.
Wilson Bank and Trust, here to get you there.
Whether you're a growing business, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help. Because this isn't just where we work, it's where we live too.
Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families with compassion and care since 1880. As a family-owned funeral home, we're committed to honoring every life with dignity through traditional services, cremation options, and pre-planning that gives you peace of mind. For over 140 years, we've been here when it matters most. Visit JenningsandAyers.com. Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home, honoring life and comforting families since 1880.
Here's Dr. Craig McCabe at McCabe Vision Center.
We have treatments for the skin of your face. So not only do we want you to see young, we want you to look younger too and get rid of a lot of that sun damage.
Dr. Craig McCabe, the eye doctor you hear on the radio.
Maybe you've got dark spots, acne, rosacea, even wrinkles. We can now treat.
McCabe Vision Center on Heritage Park Drive, just off Memorial, behind SunTrust Bank.
Hi, this is Wade Hayes of Toots Restaurants, and we're the proud sponsor of election year 2026 on WGNS. And don't forget, never, ever vote on an empty stomach.
Hi, this is Nick Hayes with Toots Restaurants. Visit Toots.com to order online, for delivery, pick up, or check out our new merch. Toots.com.
Hi, this is Jack Hayes with Toots Restaurants. Toots, good food and fun since 1985.
From WGNS and Big G TV, here's Rutherford County's most complete election coverage. Here's Brian Barrett.
All right, welcome back as we continue our election coverage here. The latest numbers I have 26 of 30 vote centers reporting in. And we're hoping to catch up with Kenneth Barrett. Kenneth, are you there with us?
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me there?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you, Kenneth. How's it going?
Oh, good. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing really well. Very good night for the Kenneth Barrett campaign, which started how long ago?
We started January of 2025 when I actually started making cold contact phone calls and seeing who I could get to support me in the afternoons when I'd get home from work.
And every day since?
Every day since. Yes. It's I don't think we actually had a day off at all, and it's been awesome. And sitting here with my team now that we started with and still here, and it's amazing. Everybody has worked extremely hard, and everybody loves the community and loves the agency, and we pulled it out. Thank goodness.
I think we were all expecting tight races. We've got a tight race for county mayor, and you're looking to fill a seat that Mike Fitzhugh had for a couple of terms, open seat, young guy running out of the gates. You knew it was going to be a dogfight, but it looks like you're going to win by maybe 20% of the vote. Does that surprise you, or did you think that? Or I don't know what you think as a candidate. Tell me about it.
I'd say 2.5 months ago, 3 months ago, I really felt pressure that Mansfield was gaining ground, and that's what I was hearing. And we was working just as hard then as we had the whole race. And we just stuck to our guns and stuck to our course, stayed positive, didn't get anything negative, and that was our whole key. Just stay positive the whole way. And it just it slowly started feeling like we was coming back in the lead really, really strong again. And we just kept our foot on the skinny pedal the whole way.
What do you think was the difference? What resonated with voters? What did voters tell you they wanted in their next sheriff?
Yes, it's a definitely grassroots campaign. The way we got out and just tried to touch everybody. We hit every event we possibly could. Anything that was going on, we was there. If it was 3 events, we'd stay an hour at one place, an hour at another place, and travel to the next one. Everybody's like, I think they thought I had a twin brother, is what they thought. And they're like, how are you in so many different places? But we definitely just got after it. And I think the biggest thing is just positivity. If anybody is out here going to run a race, I think you just stay positive, tell the truth, and you earn the trust of the voters.
So you do have independent candidates, too, that will run against you in August. There is probably a little time that is needed to rest, recoup, get your legs back under you, but you still have another race. The general is in August.
Yes, sir. And I definitely going to work just as hard during that as we have this one. I know my team, they're wound up about it. They're excited. This right here's got us gassed up, and we're going to work hard, and hopefully the outcome will be the same in August.
I know one person that is in that bunch, and she shares the same last name originally that I have and you have. And somebody, I get asked this all the time, are you related to Kenneth? And I said, all of us Barretts are related in some form or fashion. But I don't know that, just got lots of Barretts around. But I guess Jennifer should be a Barrett. She's not, but she acts like one.
Well, we grew up door to door, next door to one another, my grandmother's house. And so, yeah, we was all together. And we definitely been together our whole lives.
You've made some strong friendships in this, I know, and friends that maybe you reconnected with when you decided they partner with you, and Jennifer and Steve would be that, and just so many people that are on your team. How many volunteers, how many people helped you with this? Because there's a Kenneth Barrett sign on every inch of property, it seems, in Rutherford County. How did you do that with how many volunteers? A guess?
Y'all have a guess?
We don't have it. It's people just pop up everywhere.
Yeah. I don't know. We don't have an exact number, but wherever we went, we'd always call our supporters, and they'd always be there for us, whether it's putting up signs or going to a chili cook-off or whatever it was. It just we could make a phone call and we could drum up 10 or 12 to show up strong. And I think that always looks positive. And it goes back into just how you treat people day in, day out. You be positive and you gain the trust, and they're going to take care of you.
Well, Kenneth, I appreciate you spending a little time with us tonight. I know the celebration will continue. We're going to maybe talk a little more in depth, about 30 minutes. Chip Walters is going to talk to you in the morning about 9 o'clock. So for all of those Kenneth Barrett supporters that want to hear more from the guy who's going to be victorious tonight when we get about 4 precincts or vote centers in, Kenneth Barrett, we appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Yes. But I just want to say one last thing. I appreciate everybody that come out to vote. And we're going to win very humbly. And I would love to see the supporters from the other 2 candidates come on board, and let's make a big win in August. That's what I want to see, and hopefully I can make everybody in Rutherford County proud of the Sheriff's Department. And thank everybody.
All right, Kenneth.
It's awesome.
Appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That is Kenneth Barrett joining us here on our coverage on WGNS and Big GTV tonight. Kenneth Barrett is going to be the Republican nominee for sheriff. He will run against independents Kevin Dodd and James Rankin in the August general election. Appreciate him spending some time with us here this evening. So let me just do a quick reset here and see if we've got it in. It's in. This is it. 30 of 30 vote centers. Okay. It looks like with 30 of 30, and I'm going to confirm this 30 of 30, that Randy Allen is the new Rutherford County mayor. 30 of 30 online. Okay, I just got a text. Final. This is final. And Randy Allen is the Rutherford County mayor. 6,844 votes for Randy Allen. 6,459 for Joe Carr. 5,584 for Craig Harris. So Rutherford County Mayor Randy Allen. Randy Allen will be the county mayor-elect. The other countywide offices. Let me just get the sheriff's total. 98-94, Kenneth Barrett. 55-59, Trey Mansfield. For circuit court clerk, Jeff McKinney has beaten incumbent Melissa Harrell. 10,024 votes to 8194. So Randy Allen wins county mayor. Jeff McKinney, circuit court clerk. And Kenneth Barrett, Rutherford County Sheriff. School Board, Zone 1. 3 of the 4 incumbents have fallen tonight. School Board Zone 1, Chuck Isabel, 607 votes. Tammy Sharp, 462 votes. That's 56% to 43%. Katie Darby, the incumbent. Boy, this race got pretty tight in the end. 1693 to Clarissa Smith's 1314. That is 379. And we're going to kind of reset all of this now that we know the candidates and let you know in terms of what's going to be going on in August. And we are going to try to get with Randy Allen and also Jeff McKinney. Julie Wishing beats Francis Rosales, 1855 or 60% to Rosales, 1205 or 39.2%. So that's the school board races. Let me look at the contested county commission races. Again, this is with 30 out of 30. All of the vote centers are in. County Commission District 4, Robert P., 638 votes, 49%. Mike Rogers, 422, 32%. Brian Burns, 233, 18%. District 8, Bill Tollett defeats Joe Gassler, 955 votes to 803. So Bo Tollett, that's his son. I knew I was going to do that one time tonight, Bill. Bill Tollett will face challengers in the August general, but is the Republican nominee, 955 to 803. In Jonathan Beverly, let me check on him. District 6, Jonathan Beverly, 1132. Eddie Arnold, 331. The next one is District 21. And Jeff Lloyd, 509, 83%. 100 for Clarence Santini Sr., 16%. And that was the only race that had a Democratic primary, is District 21. And in District 21, Laura Blackwell Clark, 250 votes. Ashley Benarski, 210. So 40 vote difference. And Laura Blackwell Clark will face off in District 21 in August versus our Republican winner. And not sure if there's an independent or not in that particular race. Boy, my browser is not acting kindly with me. I apologize for that. There's 21. And again, Jeff Lloyd. So there we go. Randy Allen will be the new county mayor. Kenneth Barrett is the Republican nominee for sheriff. And Jeff McKinney for circuit court clerk for the countywide offices. School board, Chuck Isabel defeats Tammy Sharp, incumbent Tammy Sharp. Julie Wishing defeats incumbent Francis Rosales, and Katie Darby, the incumbent, holds off Clarissa Smith. So that's what we have for you right now. I hope you'll stay with us because we're going to take a time out here to try to get with some of the candidates. We're going to work on Randy Allen here coming up. So stay with us, and we'll continue our Vote 2026 Rutherford County primary election coverage on WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna, and Big G TV. Brought to you by Wilson Bank and Trust, McCabe Vision Center, Toots Good Food and Fun, and Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home.
Here's Dr. Craig McCabe at McCabe Vision Center.
If you're listening now, you're 50 years or older, have you had an eye exam in the last year? I mean, a thorough dilated eye exam, not just where you go in to get glasses, but a medical eye exam.
Dr. Craig McCabe, the eye doctor you hear on the radio.
Like so many, the key is getting diagnosed and treated early.
McCabe Vision Center on Heritage Park Drive, just off Memorial, behind SunTrust Bank.
Hi, this is Wade Hayes of Toots Restaurants, and we're the proud sponsor of election year 2026 on WGNS. And don't forget, never, ever vote on an empty stomach.
Hi, this is Nick Hayes with Toots Restaurants. Visit Toots.com to order online, for delivery, pickup, or check out our new merch. Toots.com.
Hi, this is Jack Hayes with Toots Restaurants. Toots, good food and fun since 1985.
Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families with compassion and care since 1880. As a family-owned funeral home, we're committed to honoring every life with dignity through traditional services, cremation options, and pre-planning that gives you peace of mind. For over 140 years, we've been here when it matters most. Visit JenningsandAyers.com. Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home, honoring life and comforting families since 1880.
At Wilson Bank and Trust, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between personal service and digital solutions. This is Andy Jakes with Wilson Bank and Trust. As your local independent bank, we're proud to offer the relationships and trusted service you expect, along with the tools and technology that keep you moving forward.
Wilson Bank and Trust, here to get you there.
Whether you're a growing business, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help. Because this isn't just where we work, it's where we live too.
Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News alert.
I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House, Simon Owen in London.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. America is listening to Fox News Radio.
Fox News Radio from News Radio WGNS.
From WGNS and Big G TV, here's Rutherford County's most complete election coverage. Here's Brian Barrett.
All right, back here on WGNS and Big G TV, and a very excited crowd of folks have gathered around Rutherford County's next county mayor, Randy Allen. How does that sound, pal?
Sounds pretty awesome, actually. I am a little bit overwhelmed by the response and the encouragement that I am receiving right now. So thank you for calling, Brian.
Yeah, I bet. We're trying to catch up with everybody. I know it's a crazy night. You're surrounded by supporters. A lot of those people who volunteered and helped and held signs and went to vote centers. Man, it takes a lot to run. And this is what, your third campaign?
Yes, sir. This is the third.
3 times is a charm, I guess, now for this, right?
That's what that was our motto, 3rd time's a charm.
Well, it turned out to be a very, very close race between yourself and Joe and Craig Harris. Have you heard from either of them tonight?
No, actually, I just picked up my phone, so I'm, they may have called and I have overlooked it, but no, I haven't. And I want to say, well, actually, it looks like maybe I missed a call, so I'll have to make a phone call back. But I do want to say that I want to commend both of my opponents for their, the fact that we ran a very civil campaign, that we were, very professional, and I think that speaks well of all of us, that we, stayed at a high level versus getting down in the mud.
When voters were talking with you and you were talking with the voters and trying to convince people to vote for Randy Allen, what were the top 2-3 things that you heard from people that were their concerns about what's going on in Rutherford County?
So I think the number one thing that I heard across the county was the concern over overspending, and the threat of property tax increases. That was an overwhelming thing that people talked about. In addition, I heard a lot of people talking about the landfill, obviously, that they were against the expansion and wish that our county government would do more to work with the city of Murfreesboro and in order to try to, get closer to an end date for that facility. So I heard a lot about that. Another thing was, managed growth, that they, a lot of the things that we're experiencing here in our county around infrastructure, the fact that we're building so many multifamily, apartments, things like that. There's a lot of traffic, and that was one of the things that a lot of people wanted to talk about. And so I think those were the things that most people were asking me while I was out, how do you feel about this? Or how do you, and so I answered a lot of those questions multiple times on my website, through videos, and, in person, out talking to people at the polling sites, and as well as at community functions. So I think that's the majority of it.
Randy, one thing that we heard a lot about was that there just seemed to be even a disconnect within county government, from the commission to the elected offices, and just communication. And, a lot of people felt like there was a lot of contention around that. There are relationships that need to be healed in all of this, don't you think?
I do think so, and I heard a little bit about that. Also, that people wanted to see their government working together to accomplish goals, everybody rowing in the same direction. And I think that I have a lot of experience with that, bringing people together, partnering with different organizations, collaboration. So I think that was appealing to a lot of people.
This is, I mean, we're talking to you minutes fresh after 30 of 30 vote centers. So I know the question, I already know the answer. Has it sunk in yet? But I mean, this you're going to be the county mayor of the fourth largest county in Tennessee. That's pretty remarkable, isn't it?
It's pretty remarkable, Brian. And I want to say, you have been along on this journey somewhat with me from the outside. And we, you and I have worked together on boards. We've worked together in the community. So I know you are also sharing some of this excitement with me as well. And a lot of my supporters are here cheering in the background as they see additional results and stuff. So
yeah, I bet so. Well, Randy, I know that you're going to join Chip Walters on the roundtable in the morning from about 9:30 to 10 and just have a little longer conversation. But I did want to, during our election coverage, call to wish the county mayor-elect congratulations. And we'll be here to help the county mayor in whatever way possible. And congratulations to you and also to all of your volunteers. I'm saying it to every candidate that ran, because if you didn't have the volunteers and the people who were willing to help and put up signs and go to vote centers, it just wouldn't be possible for anybody. So congrats to all them too.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. It means a lot.
All right, Randy. That is County Mayor-elect Randy Allen joining us. We appreciate it, Randy. And we've talked to the Republican nominee for Rutherford County Sheriff, Kenneth Barrett, during our coverage here this evening after we've given you all the election totals. Been going since about 7 o'clock. Randy does not have a Democrat or an independent challenger, so that's why he's the county mayor-elect. Kenneth Barrett does have two challengers in Kevin Dodd and James Rankins. I'm going to try to get Jeff McKinney on, and then we're going to kind of wrap up our coverage with a long-term look at, okay, this person won, now what happens? Because I have a 13-page document with the results that we're going to compare and look together. So for those of you hanging on Big G TV and on WGNS, we invite you to stay tuned. Our coverage is made possible by Toots Good Food and Fun, Wilson Bank and Trust, McCabe Vision Center, and Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home. Stay with us as our coverage continues.
Toots, good food and fun. Toots, it's a place for family and friends. Toots, you get the feeling the fun never ends. Food so great, service so right. You're gonna be here night after night. Toots, good food and fun. Toots, good food and fun. Toots, good food and fun. Toots.
On Broad at Loki in front of Jackson Heights.
Here's Dr. Craig McCabe at McCabe Vision Center.
We have treatments for the skin of your face. So not only do we want you to see young, we want you to look younger too and get rid of a lot of that sun damage.
Dr. Craig McCabe, the eye doctor you hear on the radio.
Maybe you've got dark spots, acne, rosacea, even wrinkles. We can now treat.
McCabe Vision Center on Heritage Park Drive, just off Memorial, behind SunTrust Bank.
From WGNS and Big G TV, here's Rutherford County's most complete election coverage. Here's Brian Barrett.
All right, we are back and trying to catch up with the winners of the big county-wide races. We're going to have a complete rundown of the total votes once again for you here in just a second. Look at all the county commission races, but we want to focus right now on the county-wide race in the Republican primary for Circuit Court Clerk, and Jeff McKinney with 10,024 votes, or 55%, to Melissa Harrell's 8194, or 45% of the votes. So Jeff McKinney is the Republican winner in the Circuit Court Clerk race and joins us here. Jeff, congratulations to you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
First race running ever for you, is that right?
Most definitely. I'm not a politician. I just, wanted to put my name in the hat when I saw that there was an issue. And so I just wanted to, help the community and help the circuit court clerk's office.
Looking here, there is not an independent or a Democrat, so that means that you will be the circuit court clerk, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't see anyone else, right?
That's correct. Yes, sir. It's over. We'll still be on the ballot in November or August, but yeah, it'll just be me on there. Was a tough journey, but we made it through victorious tonight.
So being your first time running for office, was it more challenging than maybe you thought initially? Kind of talk to me about that whole thing.
Yes, it really was. I had I had no idea what I was doing. I had a lot of people that helped me with information and doing different things when it came to the election and just simply running, signs and talking to people and everything. It was a tough challenge for me, but I've got a lot of people that were on my side and that helped me out in this situation.
Jeff, this is one of those offices where it's not like a county commissioner or a school board, it's circuit court clerk. It's very specific. Did you get any questions like, what does the circuit court clerk do? What do you need to do in that office? What changes do you want to bring? I'm sure you got some of those questions and answers back and forth. Just maybe kind of explain to our listeners what it is that you've gotten yourself into now.
Well, that was one of the major questions that I got a lot was, what is the circuit court clerk's office? And, they're the keeper of the records. They take care of all the files and everything in the evidence in the court clerk's office. And it was very hard for people to understand because it's not something that you deal with all the time unless you're in the judicial community. And so, that's just what I had to explain to most people, because whenever they think the clerk, they think the person that renews their tags, and this is totally the opposite. This is in the judicial community. A few of the things that I want to do in that office is, just simply return the respect to the employees and the judiciary, because there just, in my opinion, seems to be a lack of respect for the employees and the judiciary in the community itself. And so that's just a few of the things that I want to do in that office when I get in there. And I want to learn a lot because I did work in that office for 5 years, and I want to learn how all the different things work, and so that I can get it running the way that it should be run.
This being a countywide office in the primary, you're going to be on the ballot in August, but that's kind of a formality, and the county officers will take an oath sometime early September and begin work. So your summer is going to be full of learning the ropes, I guess, here, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What I want to do is I want to visit some of the other circuit court clerk's offices throughout the state and just learn to see the different ways that they process things and how they run their offices, so that I can have this office run to its best ability. And so I just want to learn from the other clerks to see how the different processes and deal with the state side of it, so that I can, like I say, just have this office run to its best ability for the community of Rutherford County.
Well, your first race and you come out victorious. That's pretty good odds. But this started over a year ago, I'm sure. In this whole process, it takes a lot of people. It takes a lot of friends. It takes a lot of volunteers to make this work, and I'm sure you had all of those.
Yes, sir, I did. First off, I just want to give the glory to God, because I felt led to do this. First off, and my family, my wife, I've been on unpaid leave of absence for almost 6 months now. and she has helped me out, and she's been right by my side. She's been my rock. And, without her, I wouldn't have done this, because she was the one that kept pushing me forward and saying that I can do this when I wanted to, step to the side when things weren't going the best. And, she stood right by me. And my team is amazing. They've been right there with me, helping me every step of the way, showing me the ropes on different things to do, different directions to go. If something wasn't working correctly, then let's try something different. But yeah, it was a team effect where we all worked together and we all crossed the finish line together. It may be my name on the shirt or the sign, but it's the McKinney team, and the McKinney team did this for Rutherford County.
Jeff, appreciate you spending some time with us. If there's ever anything we at the radio station can do to help you in the Circuit Court Clerk's office, please let us know. We'll be glad to lend a hand in any way we can. And congratulations to you, Circuit Court Clerk-elect Jeff McKinney. Sounds got a good ring to it, I guess, for you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thanks so much. Appreciate the time with Jeff McKinney. So we've heard from Kenneth Barrett. We've heard from County Mayor-elect Randy Allen, and now Circuit Court Clerk-elect Jeff McKinney. I told you we were going to talk about some of the county commission races, and we're going to do that and spend some time doing that. And I'm going to try to reestablish my connection, and we're just going to do it the way that has been working. And I'm going to try to call Rick Hall here on the fly. So if he's listening, that's your phone ringing, and we'll see if we can get him to help us out. Hey, Rick. It's Brian. Hey, we're still on the air here, but I thought we'd just try it the old-fashioned way because it's been working. We've talked about some very surprising races, and we haven't talked about the county commission races, which is why I wanted to bring you in and talk about those. But your overall reaction, first of all, I guess, to Rutherford County's new county mayor-elect, Randy Allen.
Is that not something? Hey, I be honest, though, who does not call Randy Allen a friend? At the end of the day, we all kind of had people we felt would win, and we stood behind. But I mean, Randy Allen is as nice as can be. He's always got a smile. He's admitted through this that he was ready to learn and roll his sleeves up for the mayor's position. And honestly, I just sent him a text message congratulating him, and I look forward to working with him. And I'm here for a resource for him, and as well as he a resource for me as us going together over this next 4 years.
And
making Rutherford County better what it is.
Yeah, the county commission, and I asked him about that a little bit, and repairing some relationships within the commission and the county mayor's office, and working together and that kind of thing, because he mentioned that was one of the things that voters talked to him about. So a lot of work ahead for Randy. Looking at some of the contested races for county commission, Robert P. holds off two challengers, and I guess the toughest Republican primary over in District 4.
That's right. And I mean, and that's your fear going in when you got that many people, is that are they going to split the vote and help you, or is somebody going to lean one way? And I think, if you think back to the mayor's race, that's kind of where it was for the other two. Is somebody going to split that race when you got so many going into it? And Robert and his family are such staples. He's been on. This is his 28th year on the county commission. He really knows his stuff, what he's doing. His father served before that, and I think he said he goes back almost to Revolutionary War as far as his family in Rutherford County, and it's good to have a man. He's just as humble and nice as a man you're ever going to meet, and man of faith. He's just a good man, really is, and I'm happy with Robert being back on there. And like I said, he's such a pivotal point on the commission that we need people like that to understand that budget, especially with the dollar amounts we're talking to about right now.
We have on with us here Rutherford County District 3 Commissioner Rick Hall and host co-host with Wayne Blair, another former county commissioner and school board member, on the Tuesday roundtable. And I wanted to pick Rick's brain, and this time, Rick, you were appointed to fulfill the last few months in District 3, and then no challengers stepped up to challenge you, either on the Republican side or Democrat. So you don't have to run. Your name's on the ballot. And so you kind of give a more relaxed perspective because you're not running in a race here. So, but I know Robert, felt like he had more to do in District 4. So congrats to him. Another commissioner that does leave after serving 12 years is Pettis Reed in District 8, and Bill Tollett wins the Republican primary there. Bill's got some experience. Any thoughts on District 8 or any of the other county commission districts?
Yeah, I think Bill will come in with his time of being on the Eagleville city. It gives him an understanding of the process and what it goes through. I think he'll be able to hit the ground running a little bit, and he and Pettis are so close. So I'm sure if he's not doing something right, Pettis will be in his ear pretty quickly and give him the lay of the land. Pettis is going to be missed. I mean, and that's part of the problem, if you ask me, is that when we run these county races, we got every one of these commission seats up the first time because Pettis is chair of so many committees and leading so much. And for him, and he deserves, he deserves this retirement. And, I can't say enough about Pettis and what a good man he is, but I think Bill will do a really good job. Going down the line, I don't know if any of the others really surprised me. I felt like they're going the way we thought they would, but Democrat side, I really thought we were going to see more votes than what we saw tonight. But there is, obviously we've got the general coming out, so they may be just waiting for that opportunity there. But I don't know how you feel about those, if there's any surprising to you, but I think the rest kind of went the way I thought they were. I've talked to several of the other commissioners, and they're happy with, where they're at and ready for that next step.
Well, my one overall view that I have is that this was for those who voted, and let me see if I can get to my text without hanging up on the phone. I don't think that's going to happen here. This was the final vote tally, and there were, Election Day votes. Now, this is interesting, and I think it happened last time, but I know it's happened this time, that there were more people to early vote than voted on Election Day. 125 early vote, 196 absentee, and 10,943 Election Day votes. That's a total public count of 24,264, or 11% of the 217,000 plus registered voters in a county that is approaching 400,000.
That's exactly right, man. And that's the registered voters are at 400,000. I think what we talked this morning is about 240,000 registered voters. So we got some work to do. And I mean, being an elected official, I feel like that's part of my responsibility is what ways we can do things better to make more people aware of these or want to participate in these. I know today with the ways TV and internet goes, the national issues seem like they carry the weight, and we're by the wayside. But, I think we're the brick and mortar of our country, of these county commissions, these city councils, and these races, because that's the one, bread and butter. I think it ends with us, and we're so much easier to get in touch with. I field phone calls every week, and, I've tried to reach out since I've been back on the commission, some of my legislators, and I've even, Scott Desjardins, I even tried to reach out to, and have left 2 messages in his office asking to speak with him, and I've never got a call back, and I call everybody back. So we can, obviously we need to do better, and I don't know what that magic pill is, but if anybody knows anything, please call me and let me know, and I'll be glad to work with them to try to figure that out.
Yeah. I never really got to my overall point, just trying to figure out how many voted. But for those who did vote in the county mayor's race, the incumbent was overturned in that. 2 of the 3 school board races for the county, the challengers won. The circuit court clerk, the challenger beat the incumbent. And there was no incumbent in the sheriff's race, which drew a lot of attention. And but Kenneth Barrett won by a larger
What about
margin.
Kenny Barrett?
Yeah.
What about that, man? That guy worked so hard. I mean, I'd like to know the man hours him and his team put in, but Kenny really ran a good race, and obviously it shows with 52% of the vote coming in, he was able to get, and I think Trey Mansfield's at 29, so the nearest close to him, but he sure worked, and his team. I think I remember talking to I think he said somewhere around January 25 is when he made the decision, and held a prayer with his family, and they talked about it and set off on the mission, and by God, he did it.
I have mentioned to him, and I don't mind saying this on the air. We're here to report the coverage. Mike Sparks said, "Why don't you tell everybody who you voted for?" Well, that's not important. I didn't overlook his shoulder when he went to vote, but I did tell Kenneth several weeks ago and his team that I thought, as a team running a county-wide race, it's about one of the best that I've ever seen.
It sure is. I mean, really is. I mean, he absolutely knocked out of the place. There's not a yard, you don't run into a Kenny Barrett sign right now, just around the county.
And no disrespect to anybody else, Trey or Steve or anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it in that regard, but I thought that was well done. But Rutherford County voters seem to go for the maybe not the underdogs, but voted for change here in this county election. That should tell us something, or that is a message I think that's going to have to resonate somewhere along the line.
Well, I mean, as far as that goes, public safety is a big thing around with, our deputies and our officers. It's been a big thing with the cities and trying to raise their pay. And obviously, just before I come on the commission, there were some pay raises going, and we're going to have to look at that again. We're going to have to look at our county fire and the sheriff's office. And, that's part of the platform that, he was running in. Those guys deserve a higher pay. Now, how we pay them because of our limited way we do funding is going to be the question, but we're going to have to really figure a way out and with that new jail coming in, he's going to have to really get schooled up pretty quick, and us figure out this jail situation. The clock has started on us now, and hey, the way he run this campaign, I know he's going to come in ready to roll and hit the ground running. And obviously, being a lieutenant, he's got some experience there at the SO and how the inner workings work. So he'll do great.
Well, Rick, appreciate you being willing to spend a little time here late on election night Tuesday, and appreciate your insight, what you do. Appreciate you and Wayne, what you do on Tuesdays, and just keep doing what you're doing. And if we can ever help, my phone number.
Well, I always wear you out, buddy, and I appreciate all you do and WGNS does for Rutherford County. I mean, I don't know what your numbers are looking like, but it seems like I just went by Craig Harris's house to see him and talk to him, and they had you on. So everybody's kind of tuning in and listening to you, and you need a collared shirt, though, man. I did hear that when I just let you know the last place they said, "Why has Brian not got a collared shirt on?" So we're gonna have to figure that out, buddy.
I'm not gonna tell John Dinkins that because he will wear me out. So I do have a collared pullover on. So does that matter?
There we go. Yeah. Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it, and then thank everybody that did go out and vote. We owe it to you guys for getting out there and vote for us guys to let us get up there and work for you. But, have a good night.
All right, Rick. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy. Bye.
That is Rutherford County Commissioner from District 3, and that is Rick Hall. He hosts the Tuesday Roundtable, the show that's on every weekday morning, 9 to 10. The Wednesday host is Chip Walters, and he is going to continue our election coverage really tomorrow morning with an overview of the county mayor's race and the sheriff's race. The sheriff's race first. Kenneth Barrett will join him for about 30 minutes for half the show, and then Randy Allen for the second half of the show coming up tomorrow morning. Our coverage here tonight made possible by Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home, Toots Good Food and Fun, Wilson Bank and Trust, and McCabe Vision Center. If you see our friends at Jennings and Ayers, Dr. Craig McCabe, Wade Hayes, Nick, and the whole team at Toots, or Andy Jakes and his fine team at Wilson Bank, will you tell them thank you? Because without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing tonight. And folks all around Rutherford County tuning in to get their coverage here from WGNS and Big G TV. So we appreciate those sponsors. And here we go with our final rundown of everything. And we're going to kind of look ahead, to see what happens in August, okay? So here we go. County mayor's race. The Republican nominee, if you will, in the Republican primary does not face a Democrat or an independent challenger in August. So Randy Allen is county mayor-elect. 6,844 votes, or 36%. Joe Carr, 6,459 votes, or 34%. County Commissioner Craig Harris with 5,584 votes, or 29.5%. Thanks to Joe for his leadership. He'll continue on until September as county mayor. Thanks to Craig for his years on the Rutherford County Commission. And I don't think we've heard the last from Craig Harris. And also, thanks for throwing your hat in the ring to run for such an important office, Randy, Joe, and Craig. So again, County Mayor-elect Randy Allen, 6,844 votes, 36%. Joe Carr, 6,459, 34% of the vote. I'm going to look at the countywide races first, and then we'll break down the county commission. So let's go on down to Rutherford County Sheriff. Kenneth Barrett wins with 52% of the vote to Mansfield's 29%, Steve Spence 18%. Kenneth Barrett, 9,894 votes. Trey Mansfield, 5,559 votes. Steve Spence, 3,467 votes. The Republican nominee is Kenneth Barrett. Kenneth Barrett in August will face independent challengers Kevin Dodds and James Rankins. So it's a three-way race for the Rutherford County Sheriff to fulfill the seat that will be vacated by Sheriff Mike Fitzhugh come September. For Circuit Court Clerk. Circuit Court Clerk is the same as County Mayor. There are no Democrat or independent candidates that ran for office. So Jeff McKinney will be on the ballot in August, but will not have a challenger. Jeff McKinney will face off against no one. He'll just be on the ballot and will be the next Circuit Court Clerk, receiving 10,024 votes. The only one, now it was a two-way race, but the only one in a countywide race to get over 10,000 votes. 10,024 votes for Jeff McKinney, 55%. Melissa Harrell, 8194. That's about 45% of the vote. Rutherford County School Board. Let me pull this secondary page up here and find my school board section. There we go. So, Rutherford County School Board in Zone 1. Chuck Isabel defeats incumbent Tammy Sharp, 607 votes to 462. That's 56% of the vote for Isabel, 43% for Sharp. So now Chuck Isabel will face Democrat Janice McCord and independent Sumetra Drayton, and that will be in August. So it's a three-way race for School Board Zone 1 that covers the Laverne County Commission districts, North Rutherford County. So again, Isabel will face off against Janice McCord and Sumatra Drayton. In School Board Zone 4, Katie Darby, the incumbent, holds off Republican challenger Clarissa Smith, 1693 Darby, 1314 for Smith, 55% to 43%. In School Board Zone 4, now Katie Darby will face a challenge from Brian Hall of Smyrna on the Democratic side, and independent Dana Nichols. Dana, the former principal at Rockville Elementary, longtime principal there. Dana Nichols, Brian Hall will face Katie Darby in August. School Board Zone 7, incumbent Francis Rosales falls to Republican challenger Julie Wishing. 1855 for Julie Wishing, or 60% of the vote. Rosales, 39% of the vote, 1,205. So it will be Julie Wishing facing Democrat Jonathan Yancey come August. For quickly, Murfreesboro City School Board, there were 3 running, and you chose from 3. And those are Amanda Moore, Karen Dodd, and Rebecca Hutchins Long. All 3 will return to the City School Board. The chair, Amanda Moore, for the 3rd time, will now have a 3rd term, and a 2nd term for both Dodd and Hutchins Long. Now let's we've covered our countywide races, the only Murfreesboro school board race, the only municipal race that we had on the docket. Now let's look at Rutherford County Commission. So, County Commission, District 1, David Gammon defeats Jamie Knight, 138 votes to 94 votes. So David Gammon will face off once again against Hope Oliver, the incumbent, and the Democrat. She was unchallenged in the Democratic primary. Moving to District 4, County Commission District 4 on the Republican side. Robert P., 638 votes, or 49%. Michael Rogers, 422, 32%. Brian Burns, 233, and about 18%. Now, Robert P. also faces a challenger, a Democratic challenger come August, and that will be James Lehue. And I remember James being on the ballot before, not sure if it was for County Commission or another office, but Robert P. will face off against James Lehue come August. And a lot of these that ran in the Republican side without a challenger will also run in August, and I should have been telling you that. Stephen Piercy and Rick Hall, Districts 2 and 3, do not have Democrats running. We talked about District 4, so we're caught up here. District 5, Laura Davidson is an independent, and Laura will run against Jeffrey Crum, the Democrat, in August. In District 6, Jonathan Beverly defeats Eddie Arnold, 1132 to 331. And that means Jonathan Beverly will now face Danielle Nadeau, the Democrat, come August. In County Commission District 7, Michael Cush will face Democratic challenger Katie Beth Thomas in August. Michael is the incumbent. District 8, Bill Tollett. District 8 is the former County Commission district for Pettis Reed, who announced he would not seek another term. Bill Tollett, 955 votes, 54%. John Gassler, 803 votes, 45%. And Bill will now face Democratic challenger Jennifer Burke in August. District 9, Joshua James, the Republican, will now face Democrat Jacob Malmenstrom. I know I butchered your name, Jacob. Malmenstrom, I think that's right. Joshua James versus Jacob Malmenstrom in District 9, along with independent Carson Stem. In District 10, Phil Wilson, out of the Smyrna area, ran unopposed and does not face a challenger either, so he'll return to the County Commission. In District 11, Anthony Johnson will face Democrat Wayne Sharp come August. In District 12, Carl Boyd, the Republican, faces Celeste Davis, Democrat, in District 12. District 13, Brendan Dowdy, a Democrat, will face Brian Stroll, Republican, in an open seat there in District 13. District 14, Wayne Irvin, the Republican incumbent, is unopposed and does not have a challenger for August. County Commission District 15, Shay Woods, Democrat. Republican Sean McGowan. So those two will face off against each other in August. District 16, Phil Dodd, the Republican incumbent, will face Kathy Watts, the Democrat challenger. District 17 will have Terry Hodge. It's Terrence if you vote in District 17, but Terry Hodge in District 17, Republican, former longtime member of the Rutherford County School Board, will face Sean Gilliland, Democrat, in August. Now to County Commission District 18, Alan McAdoo, longtime Rutherford County Commissioner and Republican, will face two challengers come August, one being the Democrat, Diana Carter, and independent Eddie Sanders. Eddie was on the MTSU Lady Raider staff and now works for the city, I think, at Patterson Park. So that will be an August race. District 19 County Commission. There is no Republican in District 19. Democrat Pat Clements. Pat was on the Ed Raymer show on Sunday night, I believe. Pat will face independent incumbent, that's hard to say, Romel McMurray. So it'll be McMurray versus Clements in District 19. District 20, Trey Gooch, the Republican incumbent, will face Josh Walker in District 20 come August. Now, for the only race that had both a Republican and Democratic primary, in County Commission District 21, Jeff Lloyd received 509 votes, or 83%, to Clarence Santini's 100 votes, or 16%. So in that race, it will be Jeff Lloyd facing Democrat Laura Blackwell Clark, who defeated Ashley Benarski 250 votes to 210. So a 40-vote difference. So it will be Laura Blackwell Clark, the Democrat, facing in the county commission race in August, Jeff Lloyd. And that's a look at the Rutherford County Commission, and I think we've covered all of the bases here. So just to give you a quick recap with all of the results in, our new county mayor will be Randy Allen, 68-44 to Joe Carr, 64-59, Craig Harris, 55-84. There's no Democrat or independent. Jeff McKinney defeats incumbent Melissa Harrell, and in the race to fill the seat being vacated by Mike Fitzhugh, Rutherford County Sheriff, 3-term or 2.5. He was appointed and then ran twice, I think. But Mike Fitzhugh decided not to run for re-election. Kenneth Barrett, with the largest vote spread of the night, especially in a three-way race. Kenneth Barrett, 98-94, 52%. Trey Mansfield, 55-59, 29%. Steve Spence, 34-67, 18%. And there's your circuit court clerk. 10,024 votes for McKinney, 55%. 45% for Melissa Harrell, 81-94. Well, that is a complete look at our coverage. And once again, as we wrap up here just before 10 o'clock, about 3 hours of coverage. First of all, thanks to the Rutherford County Election Commission, Alan Farley, all of the board members, wonderful job. We had this wrapped up in less than 2 hours. We've been talking to candidates here for the last hour or so, I think. So our thanks go to them for their hard work. At the Election Commission was Tiffany Parker for us, and Tiffany did a wonderful job sending photos, sending information. Hey, we've got a new dump of election results. We had those thanks to the great work from the county commission or county election commission. Got to thank Rick Hall for joining us a couple of times tonight. I did not get to Pettis Reed. Sorry, Pettis, but we'll get you on before on your farewell tour here. I promise. Thanks to Randy Allen. Thanks to Jeff McKinney, who joined us. Thanks to Kenneth Barrett, who joined us tonight on our coverage. And we've got to thank those who made our coverage possible. We really tried to focus on maybe doing our coverage a little differently tonight. So it was a bit of a rocky start, but for those who hung in there with us, we're so glad you did, because we wanted to try to give you the best coverage that we thought was possible. We've got some things to iron out. We've got until August to work on those. We brought in Big GTV in a different way this year to try to reach a broader audience. I think this is a way to get more people interested in running for office, to go out and vote. So hopefully that did the job there. And, of course, our loyal radio audience, this starts our 80th year of bringing coverage to you on WGNS. We're about to get into that 80th year. And sponsors who have been along with us for the ride for a long, long time, for many, many years. Wilson Bank and Trust. If you are a customer or you know Andy Jakes, just say thank you for sponsoring election coverage on WGNS and Big GTV. Our friends at Toots, good food and fun, 4 Rutherford County locations. You got West, you've got South, you've got downtown, Broad Street, and Smyrna. We've got all the bases covered there with Toots, Wade Hayes, Nick Hayes, the whole family, and the whole Toots clan out there. We appreciate them. Dr. Craig McCabe, the eye doctor, who you hear on the radio, helps to bring our coverage to you as well at McCabe Vision Center. McCabe Vision Center, MCCABE, McCabe Vision Center. And, of course, Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home. I don't remember doing election results without Jennings and Ayers. I don't remember doing a game, a high school game that we've covered without Jennings and Ayers. They are a wonderful partner with us to help do the things that make our community great. The 4th largest community in the state of Tennessee. And they've been there with us all along the way. And our final thanks to you. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate you watching. I do need to thank my son Dalton, too, for all of his work on the Big GTV side. I know not everything worked, but, you know, we're kind of learning as we go with some of this. We were able to bring you more things than we really ever have before, and we're just getting started. So thank you, Dalton, and appreciate your work on everything as well. And again, back to those who listened, who watched tonight, we hope you enjoyed our coverage, and get some rest, because it's going to start once again coming up in August. Won't be long. So August 6th will be the state and federal primary, and will be the Rutherford County general election and the Murfreesboro City municipal election. And then November 3rd, we move to the state and federal general election and Eagleville, Laverne, and Smyrna municipal elections. So we're a third of the way there, friends. Again, thanks so much for joining us here on WGNS and on Big GTV. Also, thanks to Mike Sparks. He joined us early on in the whole process as well. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, I apologize. But thanks for being with us on our coverage here of Vote 2026 from WGNS and Big GTV. Brian Barrett saying, until next time, take care out there.